Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. This is Yolanda here with our energy for the day using the Psychic Tarot Oracle deck. And again, if this is your first time tuning into the videos, what I am doing is pulling cards around the energy of the day or just to give us a message that will support us on our paths. And even if you aren't listening on the day when the cards are being pulled, I do believe that these messages come to us at the exact right time when we are ready for them, or they will best support us. So, again, happy Friday, and don't forget we have a full moon coming up this Sunday. I'm going to just shuffle the cards because I didn't do it before recording this time. Today it's been a busy day. So far, I woke up at 5:30 a.m. to do a live Facebook event with the Jaya Collective. If you would like to check that out, we talked all about commitment and any issues around commitment or even what you may like about commitments. So you can check that out, the Jaya Collective, here on YouTube, or you can go to our podcast on iTunes. That's Jaya Collective. And of course, join us on Facebook so that you can tune in for the live events. They happen every Friday at 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And then this coming Wednesday, my friend Tiffany and I, we do a podcast as well called Mind Body Energy Project. And so each week we're diving into topics to help support other healers and people who are exploring the realms of spirituality. And we have events every Wednesday. So you can also find us, the Mind Body Energy Project, here on YouTube. Subscribe to our channel or follow us on Facebook under MBE Project, as well as Instagram. So there's so much information to share with you all. The energy of the day is just one means of sharing. And then, of course, here, Reiki Radio. So my Reiki Radio podcast, there will be new shows updated every Wednesday here on YouTube, along with our energy of the day every day. And you can follow my podcast on iTunes as well, Reiki Radio. And in fact, I would appreciate it if you did subscribe to the show on iTunes because it helps to grow this beautiful community. Okay, so let's get to the energy of the day. What message would best support all of us in this beautiful day? And the first card is the Sacral Chakra card. And what is coming up right away around this is the energy of passion and even fueling our desire, tuning into what inspires us, what really motivates you or gets you going. You know, sometimes we get so caught up in our daily routine that we're just on autopilot, and this oftentimes disconnects us from what really matters to us, like what just calls to us, you know, or inspires us. And again, you know, some people feel that they don't have time to even connect with their passion or what they enjoy. But this is a reminder to tune into what does feel good or motivate you, or what it is that you are passionate about. That's one side of this message. The other side that is coming through right now is also for those of us who may need to take some time to tune into our emotion. You know, a lot of times, again, we may be in a state of, you know, just on autopilot, feeling chaotic, going through the checklist, the to-do list of what we have to accomplish, but we don't really tune into how we are feeling or how these things may be affecting us. And so then we're like off on some just feeling off, you know, that feeling of offness to where we start to disconnect from ourselves. But the best thing we can do is tune in, check in with how we're feeling so that we can work through whatever it may be to allow ourselves to move and flow in a more harmonious way. And if you are on the other side of this message where you are just, you know, needing the reminder to check into your inspiration or your creative juices, if you're feeling any stuckness around that, consider what inspires that flow for you. What do you love to do? What does bring you back to that space of feeling good? And what's coming up to share with you as well is a really quick personal story. This happened to me just the other day. My car was in the shop, and when I went to pick it up on the way home, instead of listening to the radio, I was listening to my own playlist on iTunes, and some songs that I love came up on the playlist, and I felt so good just listening to my favorite songs that I hadn't listened to in a while. And that music, that energy, that, connecting to something I enjoyed really gave me like that boost of inspiration to want to do and create in other areas of my life. So a few things that I had been dragging my feet on, just having that 20 minutes of listening to music I enjoyed really got me in the mood to connect with other things that I needed to work on creating. So I want to pull two more cards. So one for the people who may be having a hard time tuning into their emotions or struggling with the emotions that they are holding. One thing that may support you through this, we just had this card the other day, obstacles and challenges. If you are having a hard time, very directly related to the emotions that you may be holding on to, just know that one of the things that's coming up is it's okay. I mean, it's part of the process. Life is cyclical in that way. We do have moments in life where we are confronted with challenges and obstacles, but it doesn't have to be this space that's held as like, oh my goodness, like, the universe is just beating me up, woe is me, and just going to the shell. Now, granted, you may have a moment of that, but then make sure you check in and check your perspective. I always tell people to take a step back and give themselves permission to see from a higher lens or from a higher perspective so that they can better deal with and maneuver whatever the challenge or the obstacle may be. But running away from it is only going to cause more buildup of stress, anxiety, and worry. Whereas when we finally make the choice, when you make the choice to go like, okay, I'm going to stop avoiding this feeling. I'm going to stop blaming or deflecting or pointing the finger out. I need to go into like cocooning, just be in my own little space and just observe. Feel what you feel. Allow yourself to see what is coming up for you. And then again, ask to see from a higher lens, a higher perspective, another perspective. Talk to a friend, get support, but don't run away from your emotion. Check to see what is really coming up around the challenge or the obstacle. Because then, as you can see in this picture, there is another support to the footing once they just cross over this break, right? So it's just like a temporary imposition. There's just like one little obstacle that has to be figured out, but then the journey will continue on. And this is a number 5 card, and 5 is all about change. And so one thing to remember is that even though you may be stuck somewhere in your emotion at the moment, once you allow yourself to navigate the obstacle, the path continues. Life goes on. This too shall pass. Now, for those of you who may be connecting with the energy of the sacral card in terms of your creativity and your creative flow, let's see what could support us with that. Creative flow, light. Okay, the light card. Again, there's this freeness here that's looking up to like beyond just like the mundane is what's coming up, like looking beyond just what is here with us, allowing ourselves to tune in to those channels of inspiration, which oftentimes are, again, inspired by what we enjoy. Now, that's not what this card is literally about, but just for those of you, if you're familiar with this deck and wondering where I'm getting this from, I'm reading the cards intuitively rather than just sticking with definitions, okay? So what is coming up about this is the word that's standing out, is what is standing out to me is light. What makes you feel light? Connect with that. If it's going on a walk, if it's swimming, if it's dancing, whatever it is that you can do that has this this energy of lightness for you, go make the time to do that, because that will help you to open up to those channels of inspiration and being in that space of lightness. So I hope that you all have a beautiful weekend. For those of you that may be wrapped up in emotion right now, remember that we have the full moon on Sunday. So it's a good time to really be in consideration of what we are full of. But I won't go into detail now. We'll talk about that on Sunday. So here are our cards for the day, and I will see you all soon. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. Bye for now.